Sweet. So if we identify these two bands, the thicker black band being our tendon and the thinner green band being the muscle, when we pull or create a stretch on the muscle and the tendon, as Nick creates a longer length, we will see that the green band is getting stretched and the black band or the tendon is maintaining its shape. In order to elicit, Nick, you can come back, a strain on our tendon or to get some amount of stretch on the tendon, we'll need a strong enough isometric muscle contraction or pre-tension on the muscle. So if I now hold and we move together, meaning that we are contracting that muscle, we will begin to get a deformation of the tendon and create some mechanical tension there.
So is that always a bad thing or is it a good thing sometimes?
This would be a good thing in the case of we are trying to create adaptation on the tendon.
Okay.
So if we're talking about in the context of rehab, somebody dealing with a tendinopathy, we want to start to apply force on the tendon. If we are doing a lot of our rehab drills focusing on calf strength, we need to create a strong enough contraction of the muscle to then create some amount of strain on the tendon, meaning that we will get some stretch to lead to adaptation of that tissue. If we are not applying forces on the tissue, we are never going to get the adaptation that we are after and build a more robust tendon that can develop more capacity.
Then how does a healthy person develop that?
Through good training. So if you're in a strength and conditioning facility, any type of strength training, and then different forces, right? Our strength training is going to be heavier, slower loads on the muscle. Plyometric training, you would be already pre-tensioning the muscle and getting more of that quick stretch reflex on a tendon. So like jumping versus strength training, both are going to get stress on the muscle and the tendon, but through different force mechanisms.
How does a person develop the injury of tendinopathy?
That would be basically the tendon has a capacity to tolerate force. If the forces that that person put on him through whatever activity it may be outdid that tendon's capacity, that's when we develop injury. And that can be one instance or chronic repetitive forces placed on that tendon.
Do you have an example of an athlete that came in with the injury? Do you know how they got it?
I've had a couple tendon ruptures. One was a recreational basketball player. Took the winter off, got back to basketball in the spring, and had a jump in frequency. So like when going from no basketball or jumping and then playing 3 times a week. So that increase in frequency caused a tendon that was basically not getting a lot of force on it to now take a ton of force frequently.
Sweet.
Awesome.
So just so basically for the cam, this here is a muscle stretch.
Muscle stretch.
This here is an isometric contraction or a contraction in the muscle tissue that's strong enough to elicit a deformation in the tendon.
Correct.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Cool. Sweet.
You're good? Nice.
Good questions, Alex.
Good answers.